in Storms Gaming, it's Nina.
Yeah, it's kind of like fighting the White Walker and then fighting another White Walker. Are we the only people that care about Game of Thrones? We'll find out soon. In the bottom left-hand corner, it is Jonathan Snow. This is a hot take here, okay? Like, I'm gonna gather hatred for this, I'm sure.
Oh, no, don't say the last season was good. I'll leave the guess. What? No. Take it back. Take it back.
I can't. I liked it. But I don't know. It's
goodness gracious. He went there, guys.
Oh,
well,
man.
That's cancelled for us. It was nice casting with you one last time.
Unfollow.
I was there.
Right, yeah.
Right,
so
I gotta say,
Nina also going for the Gateway Scout, by the way.
Yeah. I think Nina is very impressive in that matchup in that she mixes in a lot of different openers. She's capable of doing anything, whether it's like glaives. Big fan of Stargate Once Upon a Time. I feel like she also executes the Dark Shrine and Robo opener really well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she definitely is a very well-rounded player. She has a lot of tricks up her sleeve. And likes flashy play as well from time to time, so gets to shine on streams oftentimes. We'll see if we see any Colossus type drop shenanigans. Everyone's a huge fan of that one.
Yeah, ever since the Colossus is not as strong as it used to be. Mm-hmm. We haven't seen that nearly as much. It's been more about the disruptors whenever they get dropped. It also kind of fell off of fashion. I think just everybody got better at defending against it, and it's like a big investment. So if you want to be fancy, sure, but not going to do well against very competitive players, I think.
Not usually, yeah. So we'll see if Nina will play a little bit more standard. I would wager, even if she doesn't do something as flashy as Colossus or Disruptor drops, she's still a very micro-oriented player by default. So she'll try to outdo on that front, and it's always fun to watch her play because of that.
Yeah. I like the Stargate positioning here, because if JonSnow starts sending the overlords near the main base, there's a chance he'll go upwards, and then if there's a stalker to kill the overlords, that's the scouting fully denied from Nina. So we'll see if JonSnow actually chooses to send that. I think maybe he was waiting first to see what unit would come out from the gateway. And from Nina, it's very often the double adept opener, because she's really good at the micro, and that's, deciding whether she should go in and try and get some of those drone kills.
Yeah, JonSnow kind of oddly, not oddly, he was kind of hiding these links. There's no Baneling Nest whatsoever, so it's a little bit sketchy. Does Nina have a shield battery back at home? No shield battery. Second adept is about to pop,
yeah.
So link speed is about to finish, and then
oh my god,
JonSnow is gonna go for a big link bust here without Baneling. So
and Nina is sealed off. Actually, I was worried that the links might get in, but no, she's sealed off. I think he might have done this because he thought that Nina was gonna open this exact way with adepts and maybe get a little over aggro, because who does the link attack like this? Like almost nobody. So the adept will shade behind. Nina immediately rewalling off with buildings. That's the way you need to do it to defend against this, because the front wall might end up falling. You need to make sure you have stuff behind to still allow the adept to do all the damage you need to do.
Yeah, this is very, very well done by Nina. She will finish her wall off in time. The Oracle will kill links faster than just about any other unit can.
Oh, the core.
So I think that's fine, right? Like, the core's gonna fall no matter what, I think. Oh, no. There's a battery overcharge, yeah. The core should be fine then. And, this adept kind of in an awkward position. Cancels, actually. I'm not sure about that one. A little bit scary. Still has an overcharge. Will not use it, so the core will end up falling, Johan.
Yeah, and the probes are having to fight here. A lot of them are falling. They have to protect this one little adept here, doing all the damage in the world to try and hold on. Gateway finally finishes. It's going to be a whopping, but at the front, in the middle of the links here. So that Zealot will be taking damage. We have an overcharge. A Void Ray rejoins this location. Nina is on 34 workers against 19, so she can actually afford to lose a bunch of them, but links won't keep on streaming in forever, as actually they do. He's still making links.
Yeah, and there's no battery energy anymore. There's no overcharge for a long while also. Nina needs to re-wall right now, and she will. That wall is incredibly important. I can't believe JonSnow actually let off the pressure there. I feel like he was starting to break through, and leaving just means that Nina gets to re-wall, and I'm not sure how you break this wall now. Beautiful pylon at the front as well.
Oh,
that pylon protects the gateway.
There's one adept on the right side. Where's the pylon behind him? to wall off. Nina using the probes again. Minor walking them a little bit. This is completely all in by JonSnow. It feels like, because even though he's droning up a little bit, it's 19 walkers to 35. Like, this should just be game from there.
Yeah, very, very well done by Nina there. Good drills as well to close things off. And now she has a double wall off as well in case JonSnow continues to try for this, which he will. Nina can always retreat to the second warping location. It's a little bit of a what did you call it earlier? Roddy.
A la Roddy.
A la Roddy.
Now, Roddy would have died to this attack for sure. He would have stayed like 1 minute before, I bet I'm getting all in, and then he would have still not gotten ready and died.
All right, well, Nina did not. I don't know about the third base. It seems a little bit risky here, and JonSnow will find an opening to pick off the third base and the 2 adepts at it. So Nina perhaps not identifying just how all-in JonSnow might be. And this is an opportunity for JonSnow to potentially try to catch up. The Nexus will be cancelled. Both adepts will go down. And JonSnow, in the meanwhile, is producing a lot of drones. However, 3 Void Rays on the other side of the map, mostly unopposed. There is actually just the 1 Queen here. And she won't be enough.
This Void Ray is about to teach JonSnow a little respect here. As they step in there. You gotta respect the Void Rays. Everybody knows that.
Everybody knows it. You know, when you see a Spore walking from the main as well, I think I haven't looked at the main, but I would wager you could just walk to the main with those Void Rays right now. Can we look at the main observer?
I would say you could fly there, actually, not walk.
That is true. Excellent point.
I think Nina can go anywhere. This is, by the way, a build that I've seen before, where you go like 4 Void Rays and then into standard, but here it was just... Depending on what's happened and with the defense, I mean, it made so much sense to actually go for this. And Nina with a very nice hold here in game number 1 against JonSnow's all-in attempt.
Yes, very, very well done. And I don't think we'll see JonSnow try that one again. It's kind of all on your opponent, right? Like if your opponent can hold it and they show you that they can hold it, then it's done.
Can you hold it, Scats?
Me?
Yeah.
With Protoss? Probably not. Can you hold it, Johan?
I was never really that good at holding this kind of attacks, but I guess mass links maybe. I mean, it's just about being sealed the first time that, you know, the opponent arrives, and then you just have to make a lot of building. So it's not necessarily the hardest hold, but you have to stay calm, which I'm not always the best at.
Well, it depends on the weather, right? Like if there's a lot of heat, then that might get to you.
It's quite hot in my room, I'll tell you that. Hey, by the way, you really need to qualify for this tournament. If we get to vote for you, it's gonna be #cats, dudes. Can you imagine? That would be amazing.
#cat, that would be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll try next season, maybe. I actually came close to qualifying for the qualifier twice. Very exciting stuff.
Did you lose to somebody that qualified at least?
Yeah, to Rob once, and then on the second qualifier to Semper. Both in the qualifying match for the qualifier. You know, like there's an open qualifier, and then there's a real the
close qualifier also.
Yeah, the close.
And then you don't actually need to beat that many people. I think you just need to be like
it's just like something. Two best of 3s or something. Come
on, Cats, you can do it. I want to see you returning to your former glory. I know it's hard without Broodlord Infester, but...
What about you, Johan? Are you going to qualify?
I'm too bad, man. My pro gaming career was not exactly that amazing on StarCraft, unfortunately.
I think you had your moments, Johan, for sure. Took a game off of me once at an MLG.
Oh my god.
Quite impressive.
Bro, I was winning. Like the computer restarted because of their cracked Windows version. Are you kidding me? I had you, man.
Really did it? I don't remember that.
Yeah, it did. We had to regame. I was winning the previous one. On Taldarim, I remember. Like it was yesterday. The worst moment of my life, bro. How dare you bring it up?
How convenient. Spawning. In the bottom left-hand side of the map, the blue Zerg player, JonSnow. Precise turn.
In the top right-hand side, in the red, playing Protoss, it is Nina.
All right, going for the pylon on the low ground. I think this is a timely probe scout to deny the hatchery on the low ground as well, so that is pretty cool. Will force JonSnow to take the third elsewhere. I like that.
In one of the series that I watched of Nina, actually, on this map, she did the build that I started talking about last game, where she went for a Stargate and then made 4 Void Rays into a few sentries and then a Charlotte Immortal High Templar attack, which if it doesn't work, then she'll transition into carriers later on eventually. So I've been very impressed, honestly, with Nina and like her versatility and being able to mix in so many different builds. Because also last game, she opened Stargate, but in the previous series that I watched of hers, she had played entirely differently with the Dark Shrine and the Robo for the Archon Harass.
Yeah, I think the coolest thing about watching Nina play is that all of her builds make some good amount of sense. I mean, obviously, when you're crafting builds, there's always stages to it, right? Like when they're less developed and so on and so forth. But when they get there, they're usually pretty solid and they're unique, you know? Like she's the only one doing them usually, but they make sense, so it's cool.
Yeah, your builds didn't always make sense.
Yeah.
The one base spire, man. I'll never
The
forget.
one base spire. You keep saying the one base spire. You know I beat Snoot with the one base spire.
Yeah, I know, but like that's the thing. It worked when you did it somehow because it was like
Yeah.
so weird. Like, and most people didn't know how to react.
It was awesome. It was an awesome build, and
Did you-
I only did it on 3-player maps in CVC.
But you beat like some high-profile Protosses as well, right? With like some of these builds.
No, you've been talking to Roddy is what's going on here. You've been talking to Roddy. If you're alluding to one base spires against Protoss, I don't remember this. But
I think
Roddy
like if you got
always
cannon
maintains-
rushed, it's like you almost loved to get
Oh,
cannon
I
rushed
see.
because then the game got really weird. And back then, a lot of people do
If I got cannon rush, then yeah, all things were off the table.
it. Exactly.
Yeah.
All right, we got a Stargate again, so might be going into what I mentioned with the multiple Void Race. We'll see exactly. It's the triangle expansion here for JonSnow because he had to make the second base a little bit further away. You prefer that or?
Yeah, it's difficult, right? Like it's definitely closer if you want to go for roach aggression, like a queen walk, which we've seen JonSnow does like. These adepts are so annoying from Nina, by the way. She's so good with them.
Yeah.
And yeah, identifying when she can do damage, and right now she can do a lot of damage. 3 drones already falling. The adept will survive. Ah, that's painful.
Are you a triangle guy or are you like a straight line at the bottom guy? What's your go-to order at Starbucks? That will answer me that question.
My go-to order at Starbucks, my go-to order at most places, Johan, is I ask the employee what their favorite thing is, and then I get that.
So if they say like I like a pumpkin spice latte with some salt in it and like 7 espresso shots, that's what you'll have?
Well, they never say that. They usually say something like, this one's popular, or I really like this one. Like when they have very odd choices, they don't usually share it. Or they say like, I like this one, but no one else likes it, stuff like that.
Yeah. I tried doing that before at a restaurant and they recommended the one thing I absolutely hate to eat. So then I never did it again.
Never did it again. Oh no, the Oracle falls. That was an Oracle that was doing great.
Yeah.
Could have picked up at least 1 more drone. Still 5 drones, not too bad.
Yeah, that's 40 probes against, actually, JonSnow just went up 5 more walkers. So 35 is catching up. And yeah, it's not the 4 Void Rays in a row here for Nina. It's just the 1 Void Ray into now, the 1 Oracle into now multiple Void Rays. Seemingly so.
Yeah. And that's pretty cool. I like it with a very fast robo transition. I'm hoping for disruptors. And yeah, I quite like this so far. Even Colossus would be fine, I think, defensively. So I like this position from Nina quite a bit. JonSnow, though, very good creep spread towards the third of Nina. And you were asking about the triangle third. Look at the creep spread that he already has towards the expansion that Nina took. So I think that's important too, right? Like Nina maybe should have taken the other base.
He's gonna do the march. It's almost like Nina attempted this. I almost feel like she should just attack the third base, but I think she might not. She's gonna try and defend it. She already sees all the queens. Gonna warp in some more sentries for force fields. But Ravagers are gonna be the problem here.
Yeah. Yeah, but there's no Ravagers here yet. JonSnow does like this poke with the Queens, and Nina did a very good creative solution, which you almost never see, to wall that off, right? That's gonna buy her a lot of time to get those shield batteries in the back and get some units out. Unfortunately, it's gonna be single target units in the Immortals, nothing that deals AoE damage, so I'm still a little bit concerned. Now warping in some Stalkers, those will help a little bit as well, and she should have amazing force fields too. I love what JonSnow's doing though, breaking all of the rocks. I mean, the Queens are never gonna finish those rocks in a million years, but that's bait. He really wants to go to the natural, I think.
Yeah, and it looks like he's moving to the right now. The units are on their own though. The Queen's not quite close enough. So this Void Race and that one Immortal, what are we doing? One Immortal almost getting surrounded here. Close everybody's gonna land.
I don't like this from JonSnow though. There's a shield battery overcharge. And yeah, I mean, you need a lot to DPS an Immortal under a shield battery overcharge. However, there is no unit here, it seems like. But Nina again with the wall of and a beautiful recall. Very quick to think on her feet here.
Yeah.
Now JonSnow thinks, okay, the units are here. They're not on the other side, but Nina didn't recall all of it. This is a beautiful, very creative defense by Nina.
And in the third base, there's multiple shield batteries with a ton of energy. There's the one cannon. There's a few force fields available. Usually when you do this kind of attack, you really want to go for a lot of Ravagers. But now it's only the 5, and they're working overtime, trying to use corrosive bite on buildings. They can't quite break the force fields. Nina has bought so much time, and she's ahead in supply now against a Roach Queen all in.
Yeah, this is actually an amazing defense, right? Because it's not your traditional, your normal defense. She's used whatever tools were available to her. She walled off when she needed to wall off. The recall was prompt. It was brilliant. It didn't take all of the sentries. She left some units to anchor with the shield batteries. I mean, everything has been just about perfect as far as the execution of this hold, I think, from Nina. Though those vials, they'll land on the Void Ray and the sentry as well. The Void Ray will fall. I still think she has enough.
Yeah, JonSnow choosing to play aggressive 2 games in a row here, hits his head on the wall. The defense that Nina was able to provide here, looking very convincing in both games. And that means the 2-0 victory here for Nina. Playing amazing.
Yeah, I mean,